Well, Governor Kathy Hochul is leading the charge to take cell phones out of the state, out of schools across the state. This comes on the heels of a new landmark bill that Hochul signed into law last month that bans addictive social media feeds for teens.
Yesterday, the governor held a roundtable to discuss how cell phones impact teen mental health. To talk more about this, right now we are joined by Michael Cornell, president of the Erie Niagara School Superintendents Association. Mike, it is great to have you here. Thanks for coming in.
Happy to be here.
So I sat down with you not too long ago to talk about mental health in schools. And one of the things we talked about was social media and cell phones. For those who may have missed that, talk a little bit about what you are seeing in the classroom right now.
Well, I mean, first of all, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not an expert in these things. I approach this as a dad and a school superintendent and a teacher. And, we're just trying to work through this together. So, for example, we do see a mental health challenge with a lot of our kids. 1 in 5, 1 in 4 kids will experience a mental health issue at some point while during their teen years. You can take it all the way back. The rise starts in 2012 when Instagram got bought by Facebook and social media became ubiquitous with smartphones. So you can track it back there. So we're seeing that in our schools. It's a real challenge. We're grateful the governor has shined the light of her office on this issue. And we're also glad that she's interested in talking to people about it. There's a vast ecosystem that supports the mental and emotional health of kids, schools, families, the behavioral mental health system. So there's just a lot of conversation that needs to be had around the state, around this issue. We're always in school somewhat fearful of the one-size-fits-all approach, right? New York State is a large and diverse state. From Buffalo to Montauk, it's difficult to find a solution to any problem that's going to solve the problems for 743 school districts across the state.
Now, do you think this is a positive thing, but it's something that, if it were to come to fruition, is going to take some time to actually roll out? Of course, they're going to have to figure it out. They're going to get responses from parents and students. But in the interim, you just mentioned a stat that is pretty striking and should be sad for a lot of parents. 1 in 5, 1 in 4 students will, at some point in their teen years, experience some kind of a mental health crisis. Do you think that as we're trying to figure out as a state what to do about that, are there enough resources in our schools in Western New York to deal with that 1 in 4, 1 in 5 students?
Well, if we just take the cell phone issue first, let's tackle that. So for all intents and purposes, cell phones are not much of an issue K-5. Not many kids have them. If they have them, they're not quite so attached to them yet. They haven't quite developed the addiction to it yet, right? Grades 6 to 8, most middle schools, there's not a ban per se, but they're required to be off and away and in a locker. The conversation for high school kids is a lot more nuanced because we have to talk about time and place. What are the expectations around cell phones? There's certain places where you can, certain places where you can't. And you know what? That mirrors the world, right? So I'm not sure how, for getting kids ready for the world that awaits them after high school, if we just flat out ban them in high school. So, the conversation around how to do that is, I think, nuanced and challenging. But we have all the resources currently in our schools to have that conversation because we're having it. In fact, our group of administrators, we were reading the book called The Anxious Generation. I encourage parents, teachers, school leaders, our elected leaders to read it. And it talks about the ways in which childhood is being changed, in fact, rewired by cell phones. It talks about social media. It actually talks about the nuances associated with when the front-facing camera became a feature of schools, because then, it's about just me and what I want to put out there. And then you get into, social media is literally a comparison machine. And Teddy Roosevelt said it well, comparison is the thief of joy. We want kids to experience joy, value, and connection in human, in-person experiences, not in virtual experiences. And, that phone and the ubiquitous of that phone and social media makes the default setting for kids the virtual experience too often and not the human, in-person interaction that's such an important part of school and the learning experiences we have in classrooms.
I think it's great that you mentioned the conversation side of it that needs to happen, the education side of it for school leaders, for them to be engaged on really what's happening, because it's so easy to just say, yep, let's take the cell phones out of school, right? It's not so black and white.
Yeah, it's not, nothing ever is. Like the conversations that we have with parents, and there is, like I said, an ecosystem that supports the learning of kids, and that ecosystem needs to be engaged in a meaningful way, and we're just at the beginning stages of doing that, and I think every community is going to have its own way of doing that. And I think when you take discretion away from local school districts, you lose some of the uniqueness of communities, and every community has a different set of needs and challenges, strengths and opportunities for growth. And I think anytime we allow communities to leverage those things to their benefit, it's so much the better. When we take those away from communities and take that discretion away from school districts, we very often lose a lot for that local community. So I'm hopeful that we have a chance to really engage with the governor in that conversation and preserve as much discretion as we can, and then get some resources to help us have the conversation where we need them. But a lot of the resources that we need, we have.
I was going to ask, are you going to engage with the governor, and what will that look like in terms of timing? I imagine there are you and your counterparts in each region of the state probably engaging with the governor. Is that you guys are the experts here, so.
Yeah, some of that. Well, I caution against causing us experts, but
of children and students, certainly.
Of that for sure. So, like, I have a role with the New York State Council of School Superintendents. I'm the chairperson of our legislative committee. This is something she wants to legislate. So I'll have direct line of sight, and I'll have lots of conversation, probably directly with the governor's office through our organization. So I expect personally to be a part of those conversations and bring the concerns of families and teachers and other educators from Western New York and around the state to Albany to talk to the governor's office about it, and really looking forward to a fruitful, productive, inclusive conversation about what is a complex and challenging issue.
Well, this certainly is a very important topic, one that we can talk about all day. Michael Cornell, thank you so much for taking the time this afternoon.
Happy to be here. Thanks.